Hello keyboard people! Bonedo is visiting Yamaha in Rellingen, near Hamburg in Germany, and there's something to celebrate. Tobias Damm, can you tell me something about that?
Yeah, I can tell you, and first of all, welcome here in our office in Rellingen, where we're taking care for all over Europe. It's not my birthday actually, which we are celebrating, but we are celebrating the 45th anniversary of Yamaha digital keyboard. And for 45 years, there's a long history of products. There's a lot of products. We don't have them all here, but I will take you on a journey, seeing a lot of these products, not only seeing, but also listening to. And this will be a great experience. So you're ready to go?
Let's dive into it.
Let's dive in. Here we go.
Toby, where do we start our journey?
Yeah, so actually here we have the first generation of portable keyboards. This is a PS20. Actually, the very first keyboard from Yamaha was a PS1, which is a mini-size keyboard. So the keyboard size was mini-size keys itself. And there was a PS1 in a color tone beige, and there was a PS2, which is this one here with more keys, and a PS3. And with keys in regular size, there was a PS10, PS20, which is this one, and the PS30 as flagship model.
After the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS20, PS30 in 1981, there was a new generation of keyboards in 1984.
Yes, it was the first keyboard with 61 keys, and it was the PS6100, which is over there. And it was actually designed by the Italian designer Mario Bellini. Not only this, it was the first keyboard featuring MIDI onboard, which means you had these DIN jacks, so 5-pin DIN jacks, MIDI in, MIDI out, and this is where we go.
And the sound engine came from the legendary Yamaha DX7, right?
Right, it's a FM sound engine inside, and coming back to the design, as we are doing it today as an example, Genos 1, Genos 2, or PSR-SX900, PSR-SX920, we took over the design from Mario Bellini to the next generation, which is a PSR-6300. Looking outside, almost same, but if you open up, so here we go. The user interface in the panel, and you have much more features compared to the PS6100.
And you mentioned Bellini was the designer?
Yeah.
Yes, Bellini, that sounds like...
Delicious.
Thank you. Only 3 years later, in 1989, there was a new generation of keyboards.
Right, which was the PSR-4500, which is this one, and the smaller brothers 3500 and 2500. And even 1 year later, there was the PSR-4600. As you can see, a new design and also a new operation. So this was the first one where you could choose the voices or the styles by using a number code, so there was a number field on board, and you can just type in 00 for a piano as an example. And this was later on taking over for the smaller keyboards, for the entry-level keyboards, which was for a long time the standard of how to select content on board. And something innovative on this one. So yeah, there was some try in making something special. So not using wheels for modulation or for a pitch bend. So it was using roll bars. So you can see here, roll bars. So while you're playing on the keyboard, you can use your hand to modulate the sound. You can try it out, enjoy it. Yeah. A great innovation, which we unfortunately didn't took to the next generation because we go back to wheels again. Talking about sound, this were the first footsteps into sampling technology.
In 1991, there was this heavy, massive,
solid
keyboard.
Solid state-of-the-art one, yes. And it was the first one with 76 keys, not 61, with only 5 octaves, but 76. And as you can see, no roll bars anymore. So we came to the pitch bend wheel and modulation wheel. The user interface was partly hidden under that lid. There was a display in the center which was not only showing the numbers, but also if you call up a voice or style, you can see here as an example the style Eurobeat in the display screen, and a lot of things which you could store or arrange on the keyboard, you can save on a floppy disk drive. So on the right-hand side, there's a floppy disk drive, so you can put in a floppy disk and you can load and store your data, and you can even load songs in the so-called disk orchestra file format, which you can play back on that machine. And there's an interactive accompaniment on board, which is having up to 4 variations for the style engine.
Let's try.
Yeah, enjoy. Oh, whoa!
Then again, 1 year later, this little bit smaller keyboard was presented.
Yes, you can see it like that. Not that heavy rated as the 6700. The PSR5700, not with 76 keys, but with 5 octaves, so 61 keys. And some other interesting and innovative new features, like it was the first time having the general MIDI standard on board, which means the floppy disk drive can also play back standard MIDI files in the GM format. And for the first time, there was a next generation of tone engine inside, which was the AWM2. And you can significantly hear it if you play the piano sound. So if you want to try that out.
Yeah. That sounds much better than the other one.
Yeah.
In 1995, this keyboard with its wonderful design came into the market.
Yes, called PSR9000. And the German slogan was Der König der Entertainer, so the king of entertainer. For the first time, we introduced, let's say, that operation concept which we are taking over until today. So you have write 1, you have write 2, you don't have write 3. It was called lead voice here. But the concept is quite similar. You have, for the first time, organ flutes inside. So you have a virtual drawbar organ, which you can control by having these wheels underneath the display screen. You have a microphone input, so you can connect directly a microphone. There's no vocal harmony or something like that, but you have some effects on the microphone that you can sing with some reverb, which makes it quite good to go on stage and play along with. And there was a possibility even to put a hard disk drive in. And really unique for that keyboard, there's a style on board which I never found before and after, which is called speed metal.
Ah, here we are.
Metal.
Yes, let's... Oh yeah, that's really speed.
Yeah, maybe not the taste of every player or every entertainer or whomever, but at least this was, let's say, the kickoff for the even next generation, which was even much more successful for Yamaha, which was the PSR9000. And from the first glance, it looks quite similar. And this is the idea of our product. So if you're using something before and you want to move to the next one, you want to upgrade, you already feel home by seeing and by feeling, okay, the operation things are at the same place, ordered as before. PSR9000 was the first one, featuring the XG tone generation on board. It was the first one having special voices, special Yamaha featured voices like cool voices. And you have not only a microphone input, but also a vocal harmony. So sing in with your own voice, come out with a choir. You have the same display screen, but the display screen could display also the lyrics from MIDI song files so that you can have karaoke. And not only the possibility to put a hard disk drive in, but also some sample RAM so that you can load some sample voice data into that keyboard.
So many new features, and the whole package was a big success for Yamaha, I think.
It was a big success, exactly, and it was called the Champ. Oh. And so this was something really good for our customers. And to be honest, even today, sometimes it's quite rare, but sometimes you can see it on some stages played by entertainers, which makes it to a real long life product.
1999, there was the new PSR9000.
After PSR8000, which was the champ, PSR9000 was the new champ. And it was not only called the new champ, it was actually looking into a new design, a new cabinet, a new outfit with a really powerful speaker system. A lot of people are asking, why is that speaker system so powerful? If you would screw that up, the speakers are in their own wooden cabinet, and this makes it really powerful and really great. For the first time, you can have a lot of Yamaha featured voices on boards, like cool voices, sweet voices, live voices. And also for the first time, there was a music database, which was, a kind of, as the name says, a database, which gave some proposals, which song you can play, which style is on the machine. And this was a great help to give some inputs for a player and some way to organize himself.
And then there was a version with the same sounds, but with no speakers for the professional player.
Even more. You're right, it was called 9000 Pro. A lot of people are thinking it was called PSR9000 Pro, but it was only the 9000 Pro. It is based on the PSR9000, that's absolutely right, but it was the first time, again a keyboard after 6700, featuring 76 keys, and the new live grand piano, which was for a long time a standard for the piano sound playing itself. And there was a feature inside that you could use some plug-in boards, as an example an AN plug-in board or DX plug-in board, so that you have the full DX or AN synthesizer on board. And cool. With that part, you can access very intuitively these voices. Both instruments, we remember PSR8000 was the one featuring the karaoke on board. So with a video output, you could even give the signal from the screen on the external screen or TV, so that you have a lot of friends singing along with while you're playing MIDI songs with karaoke and lyric tracks.
It has so many connections on the backside. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then the next step was the Tyros generation.
That was actually then the new area, yes.
until now, we talked about the top models of the Yamaha Entertainer keyboard, but there's also the mid-class.
Exactly, and every effort we are spending is not only for the top class model. I mean, yeah, the most innovative things are launched in the top models, but then later on we have the mid-class models. So we are breaking down the features into the mid-class. As an example, you remember from the beginning, we had PSR6300. Here we have the PSR90. So the PSR90 is based on the 6300. So the sound engine is the same. You have also some display for controlling the tempo, but there's something different. So now you have some features where you can even morph and control the sound itself.
Let's try it.
Please.
So we have a brass sound.
Yeah.
And we can change the filter. Bright or darker, and we can change the RESR curve. Let's see. Cool.
So also for the mid-class models, anytime we launch a new mid-class model, there is something which is unique and innovative for that, which then in the next generation will move to the top model. As another example, we have here PSR1700. And with 1700, you see the relationship to the 5700, 6700. But as said, this is not a top model, this is a smaller one. So after 5700, there was a 1700 and even a higher model, 2700, which was more or less the same, but with a sampler inside. What you can see here is that the orchestration concept is changed. We have left 1, left 2, right 1, right 2, which is giving the kick of an innovation for the next models. And you have some real-time control for the auto accompaniment, so you can switch on and switch off some parts of the styles, which is also then coming to the next models in a different way. But this was how there was a tryout, and yeah, PSR 1700, here it is.
After the 9000 Pro in 2002, the Tyros series started.
Yes, with Tyros we started a new area. So Tyros 1, or as we call it, the Tyros, was the first one of the series, and it was in fact even the last one with a floppy disk drive inside. So Tyros 2 was already the first one with a USB, so that you can plug in a USB stick. It was also the iconic one with that edgy design. Before Tyros 3 was the first one with super articulation voices on board, and Tyros 4 then in 2 color variations. So one was a classical one in silver, and then with the Tyros 4 we celebrated the 10th anniversary of Tyros series before we stepped into Tyros 5. And also Tyros 5 was available in 2 variations, one with the classical 61 keys, and we came back to 76 keys, and this was the final one of Tyros series. Before then we stepped into Genos as the next generation, where we are right now on Genos 2, which is our current top model of the Arranger workstation series.
So before we hear an example of the sounds of the PS30 inside this Genos 2, I want to thank you very much for having us here. It was a great time. We could dive into the world of the old keyboards and the new keyboards. So I hope we meet again soon.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you here, and always welcome to visit us here in Yamaha in Rellingen. And now it's time for Back in Time, so enjoy.